I want to echo the two previous speakers in thanking you all for giving me my little moment here to share my third and final novel in the Frean Chronicles trilogy. That's called Queendom Come. And it is, oh, sorry, I've done something funky with my view here. Here we go. It is a young adult fantasy novel set in a matriarchal society where women are the ruling gender, and we figure out that it does not mean all our problems have been solved, unfortunately. Queendom Come, like I said, is the finale, so we have these beautiful showdown moments between the battle of love and fear, the battle against prejudice, using kindness, and we see light and dark really battle out to reign supreme over this queendom. In the story so far, we have Jax, who is a lower realm born inventor's apprentice, and she is the daughter of a farmer, and she lives in the basin of this queendom that is sunken below where the upper realm rules, where the ruling class rules, and where they really have nature and geography to prove that they are above those in the lower realm. So Jax lives in the lower realm, and she starts a correspondence with a boy she knows as Connor, who throughout the series we very quickly realize he is not just simply Connor from above, he is Prince Cornelius Frean, the only son of the current queen. They begin a correspondence for years, and then one day the prince and his family come down to the lower realm to celebrate the anniversary of when the two realms were divided. And unfortunately, the queen is assassinated. This kicks off the contest of queens, where we have the need for a new queen, a vacuum to fill, and a young girl who has seen her people oppressed and silenced with the will to at least try. So she sneaks her way into the contest. I know there's a lot of spoilers, but I feel like I can't talk about the third one without mentioning what happens in the first two, so I'll try and keep it a little bit more vague. So we have this contest of queens that's been kicked off, and Jax has to sneak into the upper realm, into the contest, to at least put her hat in the ring. Hypothetically, if she were to win, she would realize in the second book that being queen and solving the trials and tribulations of the tasks and getting some people on her side is not enough. There's a huge political system against her. There's a huge set of traditions and just even the way people talk that is set against her and her people in the lower realm, pardon the pun, rising above the prejudice that's been placed on them. And so we get a glimpse more and more in the second book about the darkness that is plaguing the queendom. And in the third book, that darkness is finally brought to the light. So we have, in the second book, we get the sense that the counselors or the women in charge are not on the side of righteousness. And then we discover that there's a secret organization living in the land between the upper realm on top of this cliff and the lower realm in the bottom of this basin. And it's a group of young men who within this matriarchal society have been targeted because they have been told that they have no value, they do not have worth, they don't have any power in this world. They've been targeted by this very manipulative, very charismatic man named Selos, and brought into his fold to do kind of the shadow cloak and dagger work to keep the status quo. Other elements that I think young adult readers, and I agree with Kellen, I am also a young adult reader, even though I'm well into my 30s. Other elements of this story that I think people are really going to respond well to is there's this magical element of the griffins. So we have these flying kind of deities made real, ruling over and above all of the people. And throughout the series, it's been hinted that there was a treaty between the griffins and the women in charge, so that the griffins give their golden eggs to help boost the economy, and the women are allowed to run their land kind of in peace without having too much power struggle. But Salus has corrupted the power of the Griffins. And so now we also have the Griffins' ire. And actually, the first line in the third book is the Griffins were furious. And it really sums up, we've got this huge power imbalance, not just between the upper and lower realm, not just between light and dark, but between this force of nature and the force of womankind. So there's a lot of duality play in this series. There's a lot of, I mean, the thing I love about young adult is we have just the young adult main character is able to make the change that I think us in our current world maybe don't feel we have the power to do so. So there's a lot of hope there that we can enact kindness, and that kindness can be rewarded, and we can hopefully win the day. Fans of The Selection, The Power by Naomi Alderman, Noughts and Crosses, the Arcane TV show series, fans of the Hunger Games are probably going to really respond well to this novel. And anyone who loves a good hot air balloon, a good griffin, or really wants to see girls with swords. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you in the pages of my book.